So, this is my own game. Yeah, this is my own game. Yeah. So, honestly, it's 3,000 lines. I would show you, like, this is all in Python. It doesn't have visuals, but that's okay, because it is still just as enjoyable. So, I'm going to show you how to play. Do you want there to be pause before selecting rate/class/points? I like to do a yes/no combo. Sorry, no. I did space N, so that's why I was unhappy. Which race? This is an RPG, if you can't tell by the very first line. So, I'm going to become... What build do I want? Let's go elf, and these are sub-races. Elves and dwarves have these right now. I'm gonna pick a... high? No. I want an orc, but that would do... Okay, sure. I'll make an orc. Right now, I'm switching back to the main console so that I can rerun it. Oh, frick. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, whatever. There you go. Yes, no combo. Orc, and CL for cleric. You can also just type cleric, just copy and then paste. But I'm not going to. So, these are your first 5 basic attacks. I probably should have stuck with something simpler. Oh well. These are first 5 basic attacks. Let's just do enter. So now it gives you a description of what they do. First one is attack, just a base attack. It is good chance to hit and a good amount of damage. Trip. This is the most useful attack in the game. It knocks them prone, meaning they're on the ground, they can't do anything. So then you are effectively able to just combo them, because they have to spend their turn getting up, and most of the time they don't even get up. And what determines if they get up or not is based on their speed. Yeah, lots of stats. They have 3 speed right now. They have 2 armor. In order for base attack to hit, you have to compare... The game compares your AB with their armor. So you have 2 more AB than their... AB stands for attack bonus. Yeah. So attack usually hits if it'll take your AB minus 2 or 3, and then it compares it to their armor. If theirs is greater, then you miss. So I'm gonna right now attack. Oh, frick, sorry, no, that was trip. If you use trip, T, and trip is 2 or 3, and your attack bonus is 2 or 3 bigger than their armor, then you hit. You hit and trip them successfully. So I'm going to press E to display stats. Before they were at... Where's the last stat? They're at 94 HP. Now they're at 81. And then you honestly just keep attacking. So, the human got up and has enough speed to try and attack you without penalty. So whenever you try and get up, it will also roll another, like, kind of roll. It'll also randomize. So, what does this say? If they get up, they have a small chance to attack without penalty. But most of the time, they'll get a penalty of 5. So basically, you get plus 5 armor. That seems extremely straightforward. They did not get this penalty. This penalty is... If you get it, if the player gets it, it is literally called minus 5 AB. Yeah. However, Cleric is special because it gets a spellbook. You can also do S to open it, and then just anything to exit, and then SB to also open it. Cleric is what is called a hybrid for this game, which means it can either cast spells for damage, which this is its primary damage source, primary spell damage source, or it can do, like, melee attacking. But hybrids also get improved melee attacking, which means they have improved ways to gain AB or do more damage, etc. So, let's say I want to cast Empower Weapon, costing 0 mana, that is not a bug by the way, gain 1 AB, and a chance to gain 2 instead, maybe even 3. So, to enter it, instead of doing Empower Weapon, instead of doing that, you just do CL2 for super short. Enter, you gain an AB, you gain another AB. So before, when I pressed E, I was at 4 AB. Now I'm at 6. I'm also running this in the idle. You can run it in, what is this, terminal? I prefer the idle, because it's not dark mode. So right now I have much more AB than them, so I'm going to trip them. They are tripped. I will now open my spellbook. I want to cast Regeneration, because I'm missing 8 health. This is a overtime healing spell, so I'm going to cast CL4. You cast Regeneration. What else can we do? Aside from just kill him right now. Prayer. CL5, costing 3 mana, you may give yourself a buff. I've memorized this, I'm just reading this for you. You may give yourself a buff that has a chance to give them a debuff every turn. This debuff gives them minus speed every turn. Right now, I have Regeneration, so I'm going to close the spellbook. I have Regeneration, which is CL4. I'm going to replace it with CL5, which is Prayer. You debuff the monster. Do you want to give the prayer buff to you? That is an optional part. So, also, by casting prayer, it has overridden their trip. I want to give the prayer debuff to myself. Or, prayer buff. So, now, at the start of my turn, it has like a 1 in 5 chance or something, I forget, to apply CL5 to them. So now, I can go and trip them. That's not a bug, but not supposed to happen. Okay. So now I've tripped them. I'm gonna show you... No, I'm not. I could have shown you what charge does. I'm effectively just gonna skip my turn by doing Empower Weapon, because it costs 0 mana. All it costs is a turn. Which, for what I want to show you, is completely fine. Trip. CL... Oh, frick, I did CL3, not CL2. It's okay. Okay. Somehow the monster got up. But effectively, you read this right. The monster can trip you, which can actually effectively insta-kill mages. So, prayer, as I said before, debuffs speed every turn. So, I'm going to say this again. If you have CL5, that means at the start of your turn, you have a 1 in 5 chance to give CL5 to them. If they already have it, they get a small subtraction on speed. Then at the start of their turn, I think they have like a 1 in 2, 1 in 3 chance to just get minus speed. So before, like a while ago, they're at 3 speed. No. Excuse me. I apologize. At the start of this, they had 3 speed. Now, they're down to 2 speed. This is permanent until the end of the fight. To show you the rest, I will get rid of it. So, this is called points. You've defeated the human and are able to choose a stat to put it into. You've seen these 5? These 5? Yes. This is damage reduction. Sorry, just a minute. However, the one you have not seen is loot. And this is actually a really recent addition to the game. There are towns, which mean after you kill a monster, you will get a certain amount of coins, and then whenever you defeat a monster, you have a small chance to enter a town, and yeah. So I'm gonna put points into speed, just because speed is actually really good. I could, like, kind of do min-maxy things and get loot, but it's okay. Shockingly, I entered a town. Sorry. I'm trying to remember whether or not... I was debugging debugging the town, and while I was debugging it, I set it to 100%. It's fine if it's 100%, because that means I can showcase more. So these are the 5 actions that you can do at the town. You can do E for examine, which displays every single stat, and more than it would while you're in a fight. So, I'm level 1, I have 141 HP, 10 mana, 4 AB, 4 armor, 1 speed, and 4 loot. Which this points actually increase speed by 3, which is really good. And 4 loot. But you don't know what any of these mean. As I said before, right, I have 4 loot, so I get plus 4 money. You also get a little bit more than that, but aside from that. Shops. So, what does that mean? That means I can go talk to a villager in the town for Q to enter quests. I recognize myself as an NPC in your quest. That is just simply plot armor, plot stuff, and I thought that would be funny. So, be careful also. Do not mistype. It will make you lose your quest. This is a comical relief. Ha. I know, extremely funny. Speaking of quests, would you like to take this quest? Inputs are yes or no. Once you say yes, you have to take it or you cannot. Kill 2 trolls. You have not seen what trolls do. Which is actually really good that I started with humans because that is the base monster. Your reward is 2 point. Don't ask why that's not pluralized. I will fix that later. Do you accept this quest? Inputs are yes or no. My current quest is none, so there's literally nothing better. There's nothing worse to have. I'm going to say yes for doing that. So I've just promised him to kill 2 trolls, and he'll give me 2 points. So, the other options. Settings. That is the thing at the start. S didn't work because there are 2 things that require S. I'm going to do SE. Remember the yes-no combo. Shop. I have not seen that. I have not shown you that. And leave. And obviously we'll do that last. Shop. Points cost 48, and they will increase later. Unfortunately, this is the first draft of shops, of towns, so... And shops are introduced in towns. They did not used to be, like, existing. So... you can only buy points right now. In the future, you will be able to buy amulets. And amulets sound really, really cool. So, they're effectively... I shouldn't spoil too much right now, but some of them give absurd stats, and others will give extra actions and extra spells. So, look forward to look forward to amulets. The best way that you can make amulets come out, the amulet update, is with just subscribing. Subscribing, liking, it's 2 buttons, and notifications if you really like this channel. Which if you do, thank you. That means a lot. So, obviously we don't have enough money for points, so we are going to leave now. Examine. I'm just gonna speed past these right now. Effectively, while he's still tripped. And these are the first couple of levels, so it shouldn't matter. Speed, I don't care. Oh, look, I'm level 2. So, now my stats have increased. Yeah, now I have 22 mana. However, this now costs actual mana, rather than 0 mana. So, we're kind of in a problem. I have 6 AB, they have 5 armor. That is a problem, because I could miss trip. And that would be very bad. Well, no, just waste a turn. So, not bad, not horrible. I am going to use this ability, which I have not shown you yet. Charge. C. You've charged. So now if I press E, your stat is charge. Why is this cut off and not just charge? Why is this charge? The answer to that is the longer the effect is, the lower chance that the monster would trip you. It's really nerdy. Excuse me. My stat is charge. I have 6 AB, they have 5 armor. What if I charge again? It gives you an extra charge, yeah. Okay, that doesn't say it. If you charge again, you already have charge, so you get +1 AB until the round is over. Unfortunately, because you double charged, your next turn gets skipped. So the monster hit me the first turn. I'm really bad with this thing, I'm sorry. The monster hit me the first time, and then missed again. So, yeah. I lost, what, 11 HP? However, my charge is now increased. Obviously, for Cleric, this is not the way... So, this is the primary way to increase your AB, your attack bonus, if you are not Cleric. If you are Cleric, if you're a mage, it doesn't matter, because you could just cast a spell, which doesn't actually rely on AB. So, why is double charging really bad for Cleric? Because they have Empower Weapon, which is a simple and clean solution. Yeah. Sale 2. You gain an AB, you gain another AB. And I think that's like the basic tutorial. Oh, Cure Wounds, it's just a super heal. Angel Wings. There's only 2 effects in the game that kind of do this effect, and I want to get rid of the second one. Not this one. This one could stay, though. It is effectively a sub-race, but it goes away at the end of the fight. As you can see here, by becoming a Celestial, you have a chance to trip your target for free at the start of your turn. Trip also does damage, but this one doesn't. You become immune to Trip, and your base attack gets increased damage. All just great effects. However, this takes mana every turn to stay in this form. It is very heavy mana intensive. I'll show you how long it can stay. So, I've just become a Celestial. So, I've lasted 1 turn in it, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns. Never mind. I think I actually needed to nerf that. It didn't actually use that much mana. But by casting CL6, you're effectively making yourself a mage, very explosive, but once you run out of mana, you're effectively, like, useless. I'm not going to select this point, because I'm going to quickly show you a tutorial. What are all the races? Races do not scale. Right, so if I just select human, it gives me a bunch of stats. These stats do not increase my stats later on. But when I level up... How do I say this? The monster scales exponentially. The player can scale exponentially, but it is really weak. The only scaling class is Fighter. Technically, every single class gets different amounts of loot variables, which means they can also scale slightly exponentially. Oh, there's so much to say, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna give a quick summary. Berserker. You see I have 5 attack bonus? Yeah, Berserkers get like +2 or +4, I forget. They are the most AB heavy, so rather than going Cleric and casting Empower Weapon, CL2, which gives attack bonus, you instead just always get that attack bonus, so it's much more powerful. Fighter. Let me show you. No. Yes, no. No. Gonna go Dwarf, and then Dwarf only gets 3 sub-races. I'm planning on adding a 4th for both Dwarf and Elf, but that is neither here nor there. Let's go Valley. No Mountain. No Forge. Fighter. Fighter gets a lot of damage reduction. Fighter also doesn't need a trip. I'm just gonna spam charge. Just spam it a couple times. Okay, that's good. Okay, that was not the point I was trying to prove. Effectively, damage reduction sets his damage to 0. However, fighters get a combination of armor and damage reduction by including points in the game, which was like an addition 2 months ago. The game is like 7 months old. By including points in, well, no. I took like a 3-month break. So points are actually relatively new-ish. 2 months ago? Anyway, sorry. Damage reduction. This should be setting his it takes his damage and then subtracts it by your damage reduction. Right? So if he would do 20 damage, 20 minus 25 is 20, so he deals 0. He will not do negative damage. However, this build was way too powerful. I gave it exponential scaling because without it, it was completely useless. So I had to say no. Whenever any damage gets set to 0, instead it gets to a very minuscule damage. But let's just look like halfway through this. Okay, never mind. Damage reduction build's weakness is critting. So I'm going to show you another one. Also, this is like level 1 through 5, so hopefully next video I will have just enough time to completely finish a build, and then die. By the way, this goes infinitely. I'm just going to pick human, because what is the next one? Cleric, I've shown that off. Tank. So, the oldest version of the game had, like the oldest playable version, did not have points for 1. You just leveled every single time. Berserker actually got a lot of health. However, this did not... Berserker was just way too good. It's already extremely good right now. So, I kind of split Berserker in two. One half of it is it gets a bunch of AB. The other half is it gets a bunch of health, which is what Tank does. However, for Tank to combo with itself, it also gets a little bit of damage reduction. Not as much as Fighter. Fighter gets the most damage reduction as a class. But it also gets armor with it. So, that is that. Monk. It's Monk's turn. Monk was the first hybrid... Oh, I told you there are 2 hybrids. I take that back. There are several hybrids. However, Monk is really boring. So, again, way back when this game was, like, still being made, Monk was the first hybrid to ever exist. Then I made Shaman. You don't see Shaman here. I will explain that in the next video. So again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Monk, yeah, let me just show you. Let's say I want to trip him. Oh, by the way, I have charge, because I start. You start, and because you start, you get a surprise attack. It's a small reward for starting, which is also another small reward for having speed. The more speed you have, the higher chance that you get up when you get tripped. Trip, you hit successfully. Do you see I have 1 energy? And let's go and attack him. I'm up to 2 energy. I'm going to press EN, not E, because E would trigger examine. EN for energy. Yeah. So, this is the opposite of a mage build, which unfortunately mages last. It is by far my favorite build in this entire game, and there are a lot of good builds. MO1, costing 2 energy, attack right now with plus 5 AB. That is kind of plus 2 turns. Like, plus 1 turn. However, I'm not going to do that. MO2, costing 3 energy, attack right now, scaling with AB. The more AB you have, the more damage you get. MO3, permanently give your target -2 to 4 speed randomly. Yeah, that is really good. What is the one that did? Yeah, that's like prayer. CL5 from Cleric. MO4, deals damage scaling with speed. Again, another reward. This needs to be fixed. Because right now, Monk is either going AB or speed. So, I need to rebalance that. But, these are right now the energy abilities that Monk can do. And finally, to round out this video, and then there's one more very crucial piece of information at the end, I'm going to do Elf and then High, because this is a mana build. Here it is, the Mage. I'm sorry, pause to read if you'd like. Just quickly recap, Magic Missile, it's Instead of attacking, Mage uses Magic Missile for its primary damage. Although there's a lot of good damage spells for Mage. I'm sorry. Gust. This is automatic trip. It doesn't matter how much armor they have, they're tripped. And it reduces their speed. Shield gives you some armor. I'm actually going to cast it right now. You see my armor still didn't increase. It doesn't show you how much it increases. Sorry, just a minute. Excuse me. MA3. It gives armor equal to twice your mage level. So right now when the monster hits me, this is an orc, it gets more AP. There's so much to talk about. Shield. It gives twice the amount of... gives armor equal to the amount of... equal to twice your mage level. I said that. I'm going to cast it again. You cast Shield. Your Thorns is up to 1. Why did I say Thorns? I don't know. Now, your Thorns from MA3 worked. I did not attack a single time. I've already done, what, 15 damage? Yeah. Thorns is pretty good. Lightning Bolt. Yeah, this is completely absurd. Probably the most broken attack in the game, and I cannot fix it. The reason is, it is exponential scaling. I'm going to quickly MA2, and MA4, charge. Frick, I'm dying. Release. That did 60 damage in one hit. And by the way, this exponentially scales. I don't care if I'm gonna die. I could probably defeat it right now. MA5. So, this is another good use of turns, kind of. It does 4 times the damage of Magic Missile. However, it costs 7 times the mana. Which, you're probably thinking, wow, that's really, really bad. Just a minute. Oh, frick. MA2. MA1. Speed. Oh, that was dumb. Well, I was going to show you how much damage that, this can do. But I didn't. So, yeah, it does 4 times the damage of Magic Missile with 7 times the cost. It used to be like 5 times the damage, 5.5 times the damage of Magic Missile, but that was still really good. I encourage you to use this. It is good for getting you to like level 5. Past that, never use it a single time in your life. Unless you know what you're doing. Augury. This is the funnest thing in the game. Random effects. Oops. He got up, tried to attack with a penalty. The orc hit you, down to -5. That is the wrong thing to open. Yeah, sorry. What am I doing? Elf. Hi. Mage. MA, because there's 2 things that can start with M. So, SB. MA6 is so fun to do. Oh. This is HD1. Don't ask what HD is. I will tell you in next video, next, Simple RPG. I'm calling it Simple RPG. It will get a name. I think I've given it a name. I forgot it, though. Anyway, Augury, there's like 7, 8 different effects that it can do. I highly encourage it. I tend to use Augury for DPS rather than damage per second. Rather than Magic Missile, but honestly, you can do what you want. Conjure Clone. So, you created a clone. Don't ask why there's a Q. Gonna do it again. Do you see I now have 2 clones? Because I cast it twice, I get 2 clones. This is only for, like, the game. You don't need to understand what this is. But yeah, that's what Conjure Clone does. Let's see. I'm just gonna attack it and waste a turn. The elf hit a clone, deleting it. Yeah. The clones also don't rely on your attack bonus. They actually have spectral attacking, meaning they just completely ignore armor. It doesn't matter how much AB you have, it doesn't matter how much armor they have. Chaos Bolt. Yeah, it says it right there. Let me... SB, May 8. Medium luck. Unfortunate. Okay. It can get lucky. The 3 things it can get: unlucky, medium, luck, right? and very lucky. It just says lucky with all caps. Lucky with all caps has a 1 in 100 chance to one-shot. That's right. It can just one-shot anything. So, the exponential scaling that you heard earlier in this video, just gone. Deleted. There's so much to talk about. The final thing, I don't care, leaked. MA9. I'm just gonna start with... This is the best start with a mage. MA2, MA9. Because its perma-stat is MA9. Not only does this stack with trip, this also does DOT. I can just charge for the rest of the game. No, I'm just kidding. I will completely die. But I've not hit him a single time. Half health. Normally I should not be doing T, I should be doing MA2. Oh, he's at 65 HP. Well, he's not exactly. He's at 60 HP. MA5. He's down to 12. Yeah, doing 4 magic missiles in a single turn is really good. Unfortunately, it costs way too much mana to use, like, reliably. Acid Splash is a huge carrier in late game, and I'm not going to nerf it, because... reasons. So, that is the game. Why can you not find it online? That is because it is unreleased. Unless... no. Unless the owner of this computer somehow hacks onto this computer and then steals the file and then... yeah. It is, as of right now, as of recording this video, and 8/26, August 26th, 2025, it is not on the internet. Nor does it have a copyright. So, first, I have to find a way to copyright it. And then I can put it out on the internet. Yeah, this video is 30 minutes, 32 minutes. Thank you so much for listening. I've told you that. I think I've told you everything. Okay, final piece of information. There are lots of different monsters. There's a Minotaur that effectively is a boss. He has 2 phases. The second phase basically means you can't trip it, and it scales exponentially mid-fight. It'll completely cook mages. There's a fairy that can... like, its stats are absurd. Its only low stat is max health. So, yeah, you just have to hit it, like, twice. Oh, the monster doesn't have damage reduction. There's a troll that gets healing over time. It doesn't matter how much trip it is at. I think it heals just as much as Acid Splash, I think. If not, it heals a little bit less. Again, I think. I really don't know. Excuse me. There's an orc that gets a lot of AP. Yeah, I should go into the next video. Oh my goodness. Okay, tomorrow is not a Gun Mayhem video. Tomorrow is another one of these. I love this game. I love my own game. Thank you again so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Helps small channels like this. Goodbye.